take care of endless things for their families, homes, and all of that. So you are welcome to come for a minute, 10 minutes, or 3 hours. We'd love to have you whatever time you can spare. We're looking forward to hearing from a lot of folks in the community as we kind of get a sense of where we are 1 year out. I'm being joined this morning by a contributor. He is a journalist, writes for the LA Progressive, also now has his show on KBLA Talk 1580. It's on Saturdays and it's dedicated to tracking the recovery, tracking advocacy for Altadena in the aftermath of that disaster. It is called The Conversation Live, Altadena Rising. James Farr, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. Welcome to Pasadena, Altadena.
Yeah, it's always great to be here. This place is so cute. I've never been inside Perry's Joint before, but I'm very grateful that they opened their doors to us.
Absolutely. We are, if you cross the street there, Dominique, you're in Altadena.
Okay.
And so this is kind of the perimeter, the edge of the fire zone. A year ago, in roughly about 24 hours, the fire was encroaching on this area after starting at about 6:30, 5 miles east of us.
I do remember because we had said that we were going to broadcast last year from Perry's Joint, and
Right.
it was closed down. It was cordoned off by
Yeah.
law enforcement. And so we pivoted and went to the church.
Correct. Yeah, the
Yeah.
National Guard had expanded the perimeter by the time a week later that we were scheduled to do a broadcast. But as you said, we pivoted. Community showed up then. Community is here this morning. We're here this morning, and we're going to stay here with our family, friends, and community of Altadena.
Yeah, and it's really is an honor. It's not one of those things I'm just saying because I feel like for all of the challenges, obstacles, hardships that this community has faced, to share your stories with us, to share your time, and to allow us to be that voice. That's really special and important. And so when I say that, I deeply mean it and feel it. It is. I was reflecting this morning. Usually when I wake up, I like to write in my journal a little bit. And I was reflecting on how I felt 1 year ago and how terrifying this disaster was. And I live in LA, right?
Hmm.
I live halfway between Altadena and the Palisades.
Hmm.
But smelled the smoke, saw the ash, packed my bag, actually put it in the car. And I just remember that feeling, and it made me somewhat grateful for the sort of monsoon rains that we've had for the past 10 days, knowing that it's highly unlikely we would see any kind of repeat of what we saw last year.
No, certainly not the wind event, right? But human negligence can show up at any time, and the causation of
Corporate negligence can show up at any
at
time.
any time. And
Yeah.
so the causation of this fire, as self-admitted, is Southern California Edison, a decommissioned utility pole that was should have been out of the ground a half century ago, re-energized, and here we are today.
Yeah, and it's tragic, and I'm glad they have admitted it to a point. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Also, what is the offer that they've put on the table, how people are feeling about it, taking folks' temperature. Everyone has a deeply personal journey. Is one thing that I have learned, and I know you have because you've been talking with folks, interviewing people, and looking at what options people are choosing and what they have for the past year.
Yeah, it's been a learning curve, but one thing I've learned is that whether you talk to 10 people or 1,000 people, there are similarities but different experiences, and ultimately, most people find themselves in the same circumstance of uncertainty, a lack of resources, really just looking for answers. You're talking about elders, and we'll hear from some later in the hour who they did everything right, Dominique. They educated their families, they purchased homes, they perhaps thought that they had access and proximity to the American dream. They are finding governmental failures. They're finding corporate greed. They're finding all of these things that many of them just can't completely wrap their head around. Why am I in this situation in this season of my life?
And it's different. I, of course, I read about the Paradise Fire. I'm from San Francisco, so
Sure.
we came up knowing about the Great Fire there that destroyed much of the city. But it's really different when your friends and loved ones are impacted. And I didn't even realize how many people I know live here, how many people I know work here. And so one of the most devastating things I think is the fact that it's taking so long to see the progress that we had hoped to see.
That was actually anticipated.
I mean, of
Government
course,
moves at two speeds,
everyone was,
slow and slower.
yeah, I mean, everyone was saying that last year, and we expected, and we heard those reports back from the Paradise Fire. But I don't know. I think it's just a lot more tragic in real time. You know.
It is. It is. I think perhaps now is a good time to ground ourselves in prayer. We're joined by Pastor Jonathan DeCure, who is the senior pastor of Victory Bible Church. Um, kind of, first of all, good morning, John.
Good morning.
Pastor DeCure,
Good.
excuse me.
John is fine. Good morning. How are y'all doing?
Doing well.
All right.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Um, I'm imagining almost every day for the past year has been a prayer.
100%. I think just the people of our community have come together and just to realize that in order to get some of the things done that we have to get done, it takes inner strength and also it takes God to get it done.
Yeah. But you went beyond prayer for
100%.
this response
Yeah.
for your community. What was the first thing you did? You jumped into action, and why did you feel so urgent about this?
I think it's important first just to say it was a group of us right at our church and what simply happened. I think it started off just with the 90 folks that we had displaced. We had 90 people displaced, 46 that lost everything. And
Wow.
so initially we were just trying to figure out where everybody was. I think from there, what I also realized is that there were schools that burned down. There were other pastors' houses and churches that burned down, and we just kind of mobilized to figure out like what can we do to help. And it kind of just kind of morphed into a care management type of a situation where we had 10 to 12 people working every single day up until like 10 p.m. at night, and we were just kind of calling folks, and then it ended up turning into this like large database, and we called probably over 2,000 people, and we just kept raising money, which we still are. We end up giving away about $2 million cash to people directly,
Wow.
and only reason why I point that out is I think it's important. I think it's good to receive and all those things, but at the time, people really needed some direct aid, something that they can actually go take themselves. And so kind of we were focused on how can we help people at that in that particular moment. And so we did that. We gave 46 cars, and
46 cars. It's
uh
amazing. You said still are, though, so it sounds like
yeah,
folks
people
still
still
need the cash aid.
100%. I think what happens is people forget. This today just makes a year. People are still displaced. People are still. I have people still living in cars. I have people still in hotels, trying to figure it out. Just this past Sunday, we were blessing somebody, and he asked to have words, and he said, "Hey, just," he says, "me and my family are still in the hotel." And so, when you think about that, to be displaced for that long, it has an effect on people and their souls, and so that's something that we've been focused on.
Yeah, it's tough. But what you guys have done, Pastor, and many others have as well. But I think the model that you set, as we kind of got in the days following the initial reaction to what everyone was experiencing, you found a way to treat people with decency and order. no scavenger hunt for
Yeah,
resources or
yeah,
a pair of underwear,
yeah,
right? Or whatever.
yeah,
Because when you think about the resources
yeah,
people need, I remember an elder saying to me, I'm thirsty,
yeah,
but he had no debit card. He had no way to go
yeah,
into a bank and even pull money
yeah.
out. He didn't have a digital
Right.
Right.
wallet
I
or
mean, but initially we saw lots of people handing out stuff, water and food and even gift cards, food trucks. All that is gone now, right?
Well, no, not all of it. I know Pastor Curran Manning is still doing a lot of great work in terms of giving out resources, and still people doing that in the community. Um, I think one of the things to the dignity point is once the world found out that the fires happened, I think a bit of the dignity was lost. People started to, some of the giveaways where how you have these lines without people actually, they outside in the heat, no water,
Right,
those types
right.
of things. And I think those kind of things take a toll on people when they have to stand in lines for elongated periods of time if the things are not, kind of put together in a particular way. And so that was some of the things that we were trying to focus on is how do we bring dignity to folks, and then for our elders that couldn't come and stand in the line, how do we get the resources to them? So that was our focus.
Well, we're going to talk to some of the folks that have joined us who have been working to pull their lives back together, some survivors of this, and we'll continue the conversation with Pastor DeCure, James Farr, and you. We are broadcasting live from Perry's Joint this morning, all morning on Lincoln Boulevard, right on the Altadena-Pasadena border, according to James. And you are listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique Diprima when we come forward.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to partner with the Empowerment Congress once again for their 34th annual summit. The summit's theme is From Vision to Action, a forum to unlock participatory democracy, and will feature a nonpartisan gubernatorial candidate forum focused on issues of importance to the African American community. The summit is the signature public policy-oriented observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy during the national 3-day holiday weekend that celebrates his life. This year's summit will be held on Saturday, January 17th, 2026 at the California Science Center in Exposition Park from 9 to 11 a.m. Admission is free, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. All major announced candidates for California governor for the Democratic and Republican Party nominations have been invited to participate in the candidate forum, which will be moderated by Tavis Smiley. An all-star panel of journalists will pose questions to the candidates, and the forum will be broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580. This is going to be a big year for local, state, and national politics. The political pulse of 2026 beats on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique Diprima right now.
Back to me, and we are back to you. We are broadcasting. We are broadcasting live. No, it's on. There we go. We are broadcasting live from Perry's Joint. We are commemorating 1 year since the terrible disaster of January 7th, the Altadena Eaton Canyon fires. Dominique Diprima here. James Farr is with me. James has done a great job on the production side as well here. And we are really trying to keep this top of mind. I mean, I imagine we'll keep talking about this the year after and the year after and the year after, because this is a long-term conversation. As Pastor DeCure was making very clear, we're joined by a couple of other individuals who have been impacted by this disaster. The executive director of Al Kabulan, Diane Lewis, is with us. Good morning. Well, I'm blessed. I'm glad to be here. More important, how are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
It's been a rough journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a long-time resident of this area.
Yes, 32 years.
And I just found out we met quite a while ago.
Yes, when we were a student.
Back in the Steve Harvey days.
Yes, indeed.
But you've been in Pasadena and in Altadena, actually, over 3 decades.
Yes, I have.
And your home is gone?
Everything is gone. I lost everything.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, a fire has got to be one of the scariest things that can happen to a person in life.
Yes, it is. And I don't think I realized until this happened, it made me go back to that so-called American dream, because I worked for Los Angeles Unified School District for 44 years.
Ooh, you put in the time.
Yes, I did.
You earned your retirement, your home.
Yes, and I worked hard to have what I had. I lost my husband at 42.
Oh, my.
And so I raised my 2 children there in that community and promoted within the school district to a specialist and an assistant principal for LA Unified, and grounded myself on that American dream of owning my home and having something for my children. And it's wiped out within a second.
Where are you in this process of rebuilding? Maybe have you made decisions? Do you?
Well, unfortunately, I'm one of those that had insurance that wasn't enough, did not give me what my house was worth. And they had a minimum of what they were giving each home owner. So it would cost me $1 million to rebuild my home.
Whoa.
But they didn't even give me close to that. And I still had a mortgage on my home, which was not a huge mortgage, but still, it's expected that you continue to pay despite the fact that it's gone.
Yeah. I know some folks got forbearance, but that doesn't last forever.
Well, it didn't. It depends on who your loan was with.
Right, of course.
As to whether or not you got forbearance. I did not get forbearance.
So where does that leave you now?
Well, you know, I have to say I've been really blessed, and some people have really stepped up because of they know me and they also know what I've done.
Because you're loved.
Yes, I am. I have to say that some people have really stepped up for us. I just was with Wendy Raquel during Christmas break for her play, and she invited, my daughter was her student, and she invited those parents and families that had lost their homes in the fire to a play. And she called us up and gave us a check, and we weren't expecting it.
Wendy Raquel Robinson is a real one, for
Yes,
sure. Yes.
she's amazing. She's amazing. And it was really nice to know that we have people that care enough about us that I still have people checking on me and looking to make sure that I'm getting what I need so that I can start thinking about rebuilding. I really am it's difficult to make the decision at thinking that you're going to start rebuilding a house at 69.
Wow. Well, you don't look 69, so you threw me off with that one. But yeah, that's a big decision because that's not something you do in a week. Rebuilding a home, rebuilding a life. We're also joined now by another fire survivor, lead organizer of the vigil, the January 7th vigil. And you've been here pretty much your whole life?
I've actually been here since 1963.
Wow. Yolanda Williams, thank you for joining us. Mm-hmm. So you've been here for a moment. How are you holding up?
I believe, like I just mentioned to Pastor DeCure, that even through the difficulty, I'm still standing. We're all still standing.
I mean, this is going to sound really weird,
we were
but both of you guys are, presenting very glamorous, very put together. I would have no idea that anything that's wrong. I know that's, what black women do, but
we age well.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not just age. Here you are in a situation where your home is, burned down, and you're still showing up beautiful and vibrant.
And we have to. I feel very much the way Diane does. But I also believe that God put us here for a reason. And we all have a purpose. And the things that Diane has done here in the Dinas, Alta and Pasa, are remarkable. She has had Alkebulan for quite a few years. And I remark quite a bit that we have the best parties at Alkebulan. We have the best parties. And we just partied during the holidays at Alkebulan. That is still there. Our homes, we were across the street from each other. Our homes are gone, but we are still here. And even though this is something that we could not fathom, it's still hard to fathom. It's still very challenging to go to Altadena, to be up here, and to look around, and all that I grew up with is gone.
Yeah, it's got to be almost surreal and so disorienting.
It's very disorienting. I drove around. We were up on Loma Alta, and I drove down the hill, and I'm going, this can't be. This just cannot be. I grew up here. This was my home, my stomping grounds. My kids lived here. My daughter lost everything. I lost a lot, not as much as she did. Her dad lost everything. But the one thing that I have to say, in all of the confusion and all of the despair, I said to my daughter, where is Daddy? Did you get Daddy? My father in an urn. And she had enough wherewithal at that second to remember to get Grandpa.
Amazing. That's powerful. We don't have too long before news, traffic, and sports here, but the vigil is tonight.
No, the vigil is January.
Oh, the 11th. Okay.
The 11th.
So it's coming up Sunday.
It's coming up on Sunday, and it is going to be spectacular. And as I have said throughout this entire year, this is what we're going to be known for, the spectacular, and not the fire that destroyed Altadena. This is going to be spectacular. We will be seen from Mars. They didn't know us before, they'll know us now.
Well, and you say that the city may have burned, but your unshakable bonds cannot be broken. So you believe that Altadena, the spirit of, the community
Absolutely.
of, does not perish.
It does not perish. I've been up here since 1963, home back and forth, back and forth. It does not perish. They didn't know about us before. We were not on the map. We got on the map because a fire destroyed us. They had to put us on the map. It was a spectacular, horrible event. It was newsworthy.
Yeah.
But now we're going to be newsworthy because we're here. We are resilient. We are together. We are one. God made us that way.
Time for news, traffic, and sports. Then we'll continue this conversation live from Altadena, Pasadena, KBLA, Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique Diprima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. No testimony today in the trial of Adrian Gonzalez, the former Uvalde school police officer accused of failing to act during the 2022 shooting. A witness changed her story, prompting the judge to dismiss the jury until tomorrow. Jason Goss, attorney for Gonzalez.
The prosecution has to turn over everything that they have, including any statement that might be inconsistent with what a witness has said before.
Gonzalez faces 29 counts of child endangerment. The Trump administration plans to freeze over $10 billion in social services funding to 5 Democrat-led states, including Minnesota and New York. Officials say child care funds will be withheld nationwide until states prove spending is legitimate after fraud allegations. And Mary J. Blige is extending her partnership with Lifetime for 3 new films. The first, Be Happy, premieres February 7th and stars Tisha Campbell, Russell Hornsby, and Mekhi Phifer. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers are 13-5 on the road after winning at New Orleans Tuesday night, 111-103. 30 points each for LeBron and Luka Doncic. LeBron also had 8 rebounds and 8 assists in 33 minutes. The Lakers are in San Antonio tonight. LeBron will likely get the night off. At age 41, the Lakers are considering resting LeBron in the second game of back-to-back games throughout the season. The Clippers start a 3-game road trip tonight in New York against the Knicks. The Clippers have been playing a lot better lately. They are 7-1 in their last 8 games. In that stretch, Kawhi Leonard is averaging 35.4 points. This Friday at 6 p.m., Out of Bounds is moving to prime time. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough for 60 minutes of sports chatter with some black folks flavor. And you can be a part of the conversation at 1-800-920-1580. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to partner with the Empowerment Congress once again for their 34th annual summit. The summit's theme is From Vision to Action, a forum to unlock participatory democracy, and will feature a nonpartisan gubernatorial candidate forum focused on issues of importance to the African American community. The summit is the signature public policy-oriented observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy during the national 3-day holiday weekend that celebrates his life. This year's summit will be held on Saturday, January 17th, 2026 at the California Science Center in Exposition Park from 9 to 11 a.m. Admission is free, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. All major announced candidates for California governor for the Democratic and Republican Party nominations have been invited to participate in the candidate forum, which will be moderated by Tavis Smiley. An all-star panel of journalists will pose questions to the candidates, and the forum will be broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580. This is going to be a big year for local, state, and national politics. The political pulse of 2026 beats on KBLA Talk 1580.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Picture this, you're on a date, and then bad breath happens. Confidence gone. Here's the truth. Most gums and mints are just bad breath Band-Aids, but not Zellman's Minty Mouth. The functional breath freshener you swallow. Tiny dual-action capsules with mint on the outside, parsley seed oil inside, clinically tested to fight the toughest offenders, even garlic and onions. It's only available online. Go to Zellmans.com, Zelmins, Zellmans.com, code FRESH for 15% off.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique Diprima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thank you for waking up with all of us. We are waking up in Pasadena, right adjacent to Altadena at Perry's Joint. Perry has been kind enough to open his doors to us today, and we're really, you can clap that up for sure. And we're talking to some folks who are survivors. We're talking to community-based organizers and organizations. And we are talking to you. You're welcome to stop by. It's 2015 Lincoln, and there's plenty of room for you. You can stop by, come in, come out. All of that is welcome. Pastor DeCures, maybe we should have started here, but as I said, it's never too late for prayer. And James was asking if you could bless us with a prayer this morning.
100%. Lord, we thank you this morning for this opportunity to have this conversation. We know that where unity is where you dwell. We thank you for every fire survivor. Even on this day, on this anniversary, we thank you that you are enlightening us even as we move forward. We pray, God, that where the flames expose loss, release vision. Where the smoke clouded sight, breathe clarity, and turn the scorched ground into sacred ground, and make survivors into rebuilders. And we pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Beautiful. Talk to me about the resilience, because, we do hear a lot of news stories about how there's been very few houses rebuilt. Mm-hmm. We've heard a lot about the tragedy, and rightly so. But I think, this candlelight vigil is an example of the ways that people are saying, no, we're not going anywhere.
100%. I think that one of the things that is important, even as you look at Miss Yolanda, Miss Diane, you said how they look. I feel like the culture of Altadena is resilient. It was that before the fire. So I think it's important to understand that the relationships and the bonds here existed before the fires got here. And so when the fires came, I think what rises up in everybody is this sense of like victory in a sense, like fighting through the pain, through all the things. Even what Miss Diane said, like for her to be sitting here, and the people that's listening can't see her hair, but her hair is fly.
It's really cute.
And
it's really cute.
It's one of those things where you go, man, how do people don't look like what they've been through? Kind of reminds me, and I'm not here to preach. This reminds me of a situation where, there's a passage where 3 Hebrew boys were in the fire, and it says they didn't smell like smoke, and they didn't have any traces of the smoke. Now, sure enough, there is pain, there is trauma, there is all those things. But what there is also is people rising up.
Yeah, I think it's incredible, and I'm pretty sure that is the Miss Williams. That's the purpose of this candlelight vigil on the 11th.
It is the purpose. It is because, just as Pastor DeCure said, Diane's here is why. So,
Well, thank
been through this community has been through quite a bit. It's unimaginable. The feeling of such a huge loss is unimaginable. It can't be put into words. But we can't become the circumstances. It's tough. And one of the things that I mentioned to my pastor and others is it's now time that we look at what's going to happen in the meantime, because it's going to take a decade to rebuild. This candlelight vigil is not a one-off. It's going to happen every year until Altadena comes back. And I make that a promise. It's a declaration. It's going to happen, with or without. And the response to this candlelight vigil says it has to happen because we are resilient. We are strong people.
I mean, it sounds like it's about fellowship, about fortifying community, about
it absolutely
about
is.
putting a flag in the ground and saying
Yes.
we haven't gone anywhere.
We have a stake right here,
Yeah.
and it's going to remain here. And we're not going anywhere.
How do you keep that optimism? I mean, your house is not back, right?
No, nothing's back. Nothing. My daughters can't even come up here. They may not be at the vigil. It's that traumatic.
It's devastating.
It's devastating.
It's absolutely devastating.
Yes.
It's going to take us staying connected.
Yes.
And growing to redo this.
Yes.
What we have lost here has been so overwhelming for people. I wish that people would keep their promises. When we started this journey in losing our homes, there were promises made for helping, for making sure we stayed together, making sure that we got what we needed. But that is not happening on a regular basis. We have people in Moreno Valley. We have people in Lancaster. My
Staying
neighbor,
with families.
yes, just staying so that they would have
Yeah.
a home to stay. We still have seniors that are 88 years old in hotels.
Yes. In their cars.
And we've
Yes.
been
in
promised.
In their cars.
And we've been
In their
promised
cars. Yeah.
this help. I'm very disappointed in the political aspect of what was said that would happen.
So you're talking about lawmakers. You're
Yes.
talking about corporations.
Yes.
You're talking about
Folks that make the rules.
celebrities.
That
all
said,
of those.
well, there are some that have stepped up. Beyonce's foundation stepped up. There were other organizations, Samaritan's Purse, you speaking of ashes. Samaritan's Purse went to my home and went through the ashes to find my mom's ashes.
Oh, my.
I couldn't. That is not what I thought about. I wasn't thinking that there was no water in the fire hydrants. I was directly across the street from a fire hydrant with no water.
And one in our driveway.
How am I paying taxes
on something
on time?
Yes.
Faithfully. But I'm not left to know and understand that I have a fire truck that's going to come and help me. But I'm told that I need to get out.
Mm-hmm.
How?
And when were you told?
Oh, I wasn't. My son said, Mom, we got to go. I said, well, it's not close. Mom, we got to go.
Yes.
They never knocked on my door. They never sent sirens on my side of Altadena. But on the other side of Altadena, since I've gone through this, I've spoken to a number of people. There were cars circulating with red lights on speakers telling people to leave the premises. That didn't happen on my side. My whole block is gone with the exception of 2 homes.
Yep. Yep.
There was an elementary school
Loma Alta School.
3 houses up from me, completely gone.
Gone.
Just
Gone.
do as you promised. That is all I am asking. I promised to teach and work with children in this school district, the biggest school district in the nation. It was. I did that faithfully.
Yeah, now you're talking about LAUSD.
Yes,
Of course. Yeah.
but I did that faithfully.
Yes.
But I couldn't count on them to come and put the fire out in my house. I did all the right things. I thought I did all the right things.
Clearly you did.
But they did not come and even attempt. As one fireman said, there's no water. We can't help you.
So I want to toss this to James Farr for a moment, because I know you've interviewed Catherine Barger, the supervisor for the county that's over this area. Altadena does not have a mayor.
No.
Altadena is not governed actually
It's an unincorporated
by
Right.
the city of Los Angeles. It's the county of Los
Yes, it
Angeles.
is.
Right.
We know that Supervisor Barger is termed out.
Yeah.
I also know she's been on your show a couple times. What is she telling you about this? Why is there no water in the hydrants? What are they doing about it? Why are the promises not being kept?
Well, the first thing we've learned in the after action report, and it's something that we could have just basically anticipated, is that someone, Dominique, didn't do their damn job.
That's it.
It really comes simply to that. Disaster preparedness is nothing new. As I was saying earlier, government moves at 2 speeds, slow and slower. She seems to be open to understanding where the gaps were and what they didn't do right and what they can do better. But that provides little consolation to Ms. Williams, Ms. Lewis, and many of the other ones that are here and going to be joining us this morning.
Well, I thank you so very much for sharing your stories with us. And, you know, my mic is your mic. You guys are always welcome. And James's mic is your mic, too, by the way. We are committed to covering this not as a one moment or one day or 1 year anniversary type of situation, but as an ongoing concern.
It has to
in
be
our
an
community.
ongoing conversation.
Yes.
This is gone, and it's going to take a decade before it comes back. So the conversation has got to continue, whether the politicians hear us or not, whether they do anything or not. And quite frankly, I don't expect anything from them because they're politicians.
But we have to.
Keep going.
A decade.
We absolutely have to keep going.
Well, Pastor Jonathan DeCure, Miss Yolanda Williams, and Miss Diane Lewis, thank you for starting off our broadcast today. We
Thank you.
appreciate you deeply.
Pleasure.
We're continuing this conversation all the way up till 9 o'clock this morning and beyond. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. SMP volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an SMP open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit caspvolunteer.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
We're live from Perry's Joint. We are in Pasadena, looking at Altadena as we mark 1 year since the devastating fires here. And it is just our intention to continue to cover this, to be committed, to be long-term partners in the recovery and bounce back of this community. James Farr is here with me. This broadcast is being brought to you by LA Fire Justice, and we thank them for making that possible. And we are being joined by more folks who have thankfully agreed to share their stories with us this morning. It's hard to know where to start because people, just what you guys have had to deal with is unimaginable. James, would you like to introduce our guests?
Yes, good morning. We have the Owens family here who lifelong Altadena residents, a husband and wife who at one time was the highlight of their neighborhood in the community in terms of the holiday decorations. Sister Owens goes all out and talking with folks that know her and know him. They're every neighbor that everybody wants. I think that's probably the best way to say it. That's that family that you got that good energy from. And Dominique, everybody here knows somebody who knows somebody that knows somebody. So it's a very interconnected community.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Owens, you've been here for quite a time, Altadena, also.
Yes.
What made you decide to move here? What was the thing, the draw?
Well, we had no choice because our parents came.
Ah, okay. So you're intergenerational Altadenians.
Oh, yeah. Pasadena, Altadena.
Okay.
Our children were born here in Pasadena. We have 4. Our oldest is 42. The youngest is
How's your kid
32.
older than you? How does that happen?
Keeping me active while they were growing up. But yeah, we've been in the community for over, I would say, a good 40 years, close to 40 years. And Altadena has been our home for the last 23 years. And we miss it dearly.
What do you miss about it?
Just everything. They all went to John Muir High School. All of the children went there. All of my sons were involved in every sport there, even since they were little boys. My daughter was a cheerleader and on the booster club, all that, everything. Just a lot of involvement. So we missed community, just being together, being able to see one another and speak and just join in on different activities and events that were going around, within the city. As far as home, just everything. like he said, we were like the highlight of the neighborhood on all of the holidays. All of the family gatherings happened at our house, and we both have large families. So everybody would just know that we're planning something. Every year, 4th of July, every holiday. And we all know what the holidays are. So I don't have to go through all of
But
those.
it sounds more like your house was not just a home for you and your immediate family, but a hub for the larger family unit.
Yes, it was. We did a lot there, and she goes all the way out, but I had to put it all up. So, but it brought joy to us to see that it was catching on, because a lot of that stuff faded away. You don't see kids, enjoying Christmas. You look outside at one in the daytime, there's not a skateboard or bike. Things just started going to the way, and we tried to bring it back, and it started catching on. Other houses were putting their lights up again, and we were giving a lot of parties with a lot of food, a lot of things like that, and people were catching on. They started doing it to also.
So how did this holiday season feel for you?
Wow.
It didn't even feel, because we didn't know how to do it without us being, involved all the way like we were. We really didn't. If we realized, but we look back and see that we didn't do really nothing.
We were like numb. I mean, my niece, she hosted Thanksgiving this year. Thank God. Or else we would have just been home, twiddling our fingers, I guess, because the space where we're at now is nowhere near what we had. So we couldn't host like we wanted to and like we've done in the past. Christmas, unfortunately, I was not feeling good. Came down with a cold. So we had delivered our grandchildren's gifts the day before that, and 2 sets of grandchildren, families. So one was Christmas Eve and one was the day before Christmas Eve. We delivered. Normally, they would all come to our house. Yeah, but we couldn't host anything. So as well as being sick, so we had to deliver things, and they were like, "What? You're not going to make it happen." I said, "Unfortunately, we can't. We don't have the space. I wish we did, but we just unfortunately."
So where are you now? Have you decided what to do going forward? Are you going to rebuild? Are you going to move on? Or
we want to stay in Altadena, Pasadena area, specifically Altadena. But unfortunately, the resources aren't there right now for us to rebuild. Just underinsured, and it's going to be a while. Like the previous speakers mentioned, a good decade or so. Hopefully not that long to start the process.
Decade.
But
you're saying a decade for the community to bounce back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see it differently?
Well, not a decade, but I think you missaid that. But I think when there's lawsuits and stuff, we needed help. Just like Miss Diane, we were the same predicament. Didn't have the top insurance and nowhere near to 1.3. We had a 4-bedroom, big house.
I mean, for anybody that
12,000 square feet. So.
Anybody that owns a home in LA County, that's been there for a minute. I mean, I'm in that situation. Your house is appreciated. It's worth way more now than when you got into it. I would venture to guess that most Angelenos are underinsured.
Yes.
If you had to really rebuild your whole house, especially with, prices going up for every single thing. What about the aspect of recovery from Edison?
We looked into it. We did some research about it, but I think that they will definitely not give us what we deserve if we were to go that route. So we're sticking with our representatives.
Oh, so you've already decided that you're not going to go with their what is it called, James? Fast pay?
It's their wildfire compensation fund. They sell it as fast pay. They sell it as making people whole, but it's anything.
I mean, I read the briefing. I saw something about it being fast, but then when I really read deeper, fast is not very fast.
Relatively subjective. To date, I think maybe 82 claims have been resolved through Edison. Dominique, there's tens of thousands of people that are impacted. Mm-hmm.
Right, because we hear, 9,000 structures?
Yes.
But then every structure doesn't have one person in it, right? I mean, these are, as in your case, it's impacting an entire family and beyond.
Generations.
Yeah. We are going to take a look at news, traffic, and sports, and we will continue this conversation. We are broadcasting live from Altadena, Pasadena. I'm Dominique Diprima. James Farr is with me, and you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
K80 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. No testimony today in the trial of Adrian Gonzalez, the former Uvalde school police officer accused of failing to act during the 2022 shooting. A witness changed her story, prompting the judge to dismiss the jury until tomorrow. Jason Goss, attorney for Gonzalez.
The prosecution has to turn over everything that they have, including any statement that might be inconsistent with what a witness has said before.
Gonzalez faces 29 counts of child endangerment. The Trump administration plans to freeze over $10 billion in social services funding to 5 Democrat-led states, including Minnesota and New York. Officials say child care funds will be withheld nationwide until states prove spending is legitimate after fraud allegations. And Mary J. Blige is extending her partnership with Lifetime for 3 new films. The first, Be Happy, premieres February 7th and stars Tisha Campbell, Russell Hornsby, and Mekhi Phifer. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers are 13-5 on the road after winning at New Orleans Tuesday night, 111-103. 30 points each for LeBron and Luka Doncic. LeBron also had 8 rebounds and 8 assists in 33 minutes. The Lakers are in San Antonio tonight. LeBron will likely get the night off. At age 41, the Lakers are considering resting LeBron in the second game of back-to-back games throughout the season. The Clippers start a 3-game road trip tonight in New York against the Knicks. The Clippers have been playing a lot better lately. They are 7-1 in their last 8 games. In that stretch, Kawhi Leonard is averaging 35.4 points. This Friday at 6 p.m., Out of Bounds is moving to prime time. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough for 60 minutes of sports chatter with some black folks flavor. And you can be a part of the conversation at 1-800-920-1580. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, it's Tavis Smiley. For 40 years, I have had the privilege, and I don't use that word lightly, the privilege of sitting down with presidents, world leaders, authors, artists, activists, the folk who shape our world. Thousands of conversations, tens of thousands of questions. And somewhere along the way, I realized that the art of conversation is dying. So here's what I'm going to do about it. I am now going to teach what these almost 40 years have taught me, how to have conversations that matter. 6 courses, from the anatomy of a great conversation to generous listening as a superpower to handling difficult exchanges without losing your dignity or your mind. Go to TavisTalks.com right now. That's TavisTalks.com. Download the free guide, see what's coming, sign up to be the first to know when we launch the series. Conversation is a skill, and like any skill, it can be taught. I'll see you in class.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much